Hello and welcome. I'm Peter Christensen, and you're listening to my presentation, Liberty, More Than a Discipline. Give your horse the freedom to choose you. And we will discuss how you can let go of pressure control and even treat-based training techniques to give your horse the freedom to choose you. A lot of times when I say that, people will tell me, but then I never get to do what I want to do, and my horse gets away with stuff. Nothing further could be the truth unless you are engaging in not horse-friendly sports or actions. Then your horse should not follow you. But when you have your horse's best interest in mind, here's the thing. Why would a prey animal who values safety the most not follow you if she feels safe, empowered, and confident with you? So this is what we're creating. This idea that we're creating an environment where we and our horse feel safe, empowered, and confident together so that your horse can happily and willingly follow you and your suggestions. But the current state of the horse industry is that most trainers, instructors, and online programs tell you to use pressure and release, take choices away, limit resources, put the horse in a state of giving up and feeling like there is no choice. Now, here's the important thing. They will not tell you this in their marketing. In their marketing, they will talk about connection. In their marketing, they will talk about love and understanding and being a heart-centered person, because this is what we all want. But then look in the horse's eye and look at the training techniques that are being shown, and 99.9% of what I see in social media is this: creating the robot horse that hides tension, stress, worry, anxiety, and fear because she gets punished to show her feelings and her feedbacks. People will tell you, I am showing you how to create connection, and then they're chasing the horse's hind end away because the horse is protesting when being saddled and is offering to bite. People will tell you that the horse has to self-regulate, turning the horse into an individual when the horse is always a family member who wants connection. So we don't teach our horse to self-regulate in my program. I teach you how to create the herd of 2 or more, so your horse can happily and willingly follow your suggestions. Let's talk about treats. I see it, I've seen it in myself, I see it with students that come into my mentorship program. When we finally say, I've had enough of negative reinforcement training, of pressure, of control, oftentimes we're looking at the other end, at positive reinforcement clicker training treats. And if you are currently using treats and clicker training and you want to stick with this, my program is not for you. Before you go, I would like to consider this. By nature, horses do not share food like we humans do. It is not a connection building instrument for horses with each other. So it's artificial and a mechanical way of creating connection. The horse will have a tendency to only respond when you reward and have a treat. You cannot click away fear and tension, especially mentally and emotionally. Humans focus on that physical posture, for example, the head down cue, but then overlook the mental and emotional distress that the horse is still facing. Treats don't require any self-development from the human. And in my opinion, that is absolutely necessary if you want to be the lead in your herd of 2 or more. And a lot of times the reason why we humans want to use treats is because we feel we need to motivate our horse, and that just us showing up and giving directions is not enough. So we are not feeling enough. And treats are a temporary fix, while the underlying problem is not addressed. And the underlying problem is that we humans, particularly we heart-centered horse lovers, have self-doubt that we are enough for our horse. My program is all about showing your horse that you are enough, showing that you are worthy to be the lead. And treats are optional as gifts, no strings attached. Now, there are 5 LEADmare principles that I teach that are all about the idea that liberty goes beyond the idea of beyond being a discipline. It is a mindset. And for me, it is the mindset of the LEADmare. So our overall focus is that we let go of control, pressure, and treat-based training techniques. We take responsibility for our thoughts and our words and our actions. And our actions need to be based on benevolent decisions for our herd of 2. My body and awareness and relaxation audio is awesome to help you be present, grounded, and mindful to show up as the lead. Go to my YouTube channel, Genuine Connections HorseWomanship, and listen to that 16-minute audio. Stop giving treats as rewards reinforcer and just give treats as a once-in-a-while gift, no strings attached. Start out with what can you do, right? What do you feel comfortable to do? What do you feel confident to do? And what can your horse say yes to? And make sure that the area of comfort and confidence for you and your horse overlap. A lot of times people come from a perspective of make the right thing easy and the wrong thing difficult to get the horse to do things. That causes disconnection and shutdown and inhibits interconnection, makes it impossible. We want to focus on a two-way conversation, and it is based on love, peace, and understanding. We're not focusing on movement or outcome, getting things done, and we're avoiding being effective. Instead, we listen and we use clarity and consistency to create certainty for our horse, which is the basis for being confident. Remember that you are the herd of 2 or more. You do things together. It's not my horse can't do this, my horse needs to do this. It is we, for example, walk together. We cannot canter yet together. We are working on together. That is the LEADmare spirit. And I'm giving a little example here. My student Jill and her rescue mare Bougie, you see her here on the right side. Bougie was never much in favor of having her mane brushed. She also did not want to be haltered. She did not want to be led. She had kicked at the farrier and was very defensive, coming from a hoarding situation with not enough food and having had very poor experiences with humans. Now Bougie is actually happy to follow her human. Lately, Jill has been working on trailer loading. She will be heading out to a hoof trimming clinic at the end of the month. And in this post on the right side, she said that for the first time, Bougie actually left the food, which is such magnificent to see for a horse that was previously starved. She left her food, came to the fence to say goodbye to her human who had to go to work. And that's that idea of giving your horse the freedom to choose you. Showing up as a LEADmare makes that possible. LEADmare principle number 2, so important for our as heart-centered horse lovers, that we set healthy boundaries and that our personal space is by invitation only. It is so important to know that horses use space conversations to establish their place in the herd. And the story of Paige and Cash, the dominant mare and the LEADmare, I'm going to go ahead and skip that for today because otherwise my presentation will be too long. Just know that there is a difference between the dominant mare and the LEADmare, and I will address that in a future video. It's important to know the subtle signs of space conversations. For example, your horse leaning on the shoulder, onto the leg and the shoulder that is closest to you, means your horse is having a space conversation. A lot of times I see the horse stretching forward and the human making a couple steps backwards to accommodate the horse. This will tell your pushy, confident horse that you are actually folding in the herd hierarchy underneath your horse. So important that you describe your personal space. We do not send our horse away. We do not back our horse up. We describe and honor our personal space to show up as the lead. And these healthy boundaries are absolutely vital, that you have them between you and your horse, for yourself, for your current confidence level, and with others. Having that red line that goes through everything that you do and other people do with your horse is important. If your farrier is mistreating your horse, if your vet is mistreating your horse, if your body worker is not listening to your horse when she says no, that has direct consequences to the relationship between you and your horse. You're breaking your horse's trust if you allow other people to mishandle your horse. Stop other people from doing the things that you don't want your horse to experience. Very important. Here is a little blurb from Adele from Canada. She said, "Yay, I had a really good and interesting active space conversation with Julia today." That is her very opinionated Morgan mare. And I got some good video of it too, because that's what I do in my mentorship group meetings. Students bring in their video, we watch it together, and I explain what's happening and what the horse does, what the human does, what's working, what not working, what we need to change, and to give everybody homework for the next week. So as Adele was looking at some video that she took the day before, she was a bit discouraged that Julia wanted to do her own thing, right? This idea that my horse is not choosing me, she wants to do the own thing. But why was that the case? Adele says, looking at the video, it was just some conversations again about space while leading. And all we need to do is create clarity in those space conversations. And Adele said it all worked out in the end. Yesterday's video looked a whole lot better than it felt. Funny how that is. I want to thank Petra Christensen for your support and encouragement at the meeting last night. That's what our group meetings are all about. We have a fabulous, kind, caring, and supportive community. We're meeting 4 times per week. So much fun. Love it. If you currently don't have support where you at for the way you want to interact with your horse, our community is absolutely amazing when it comes to female heart-centered horse lovers working together, learning from each other. We're having always a blast. LEADmare principle number 3. You find, honor, address, and resolve micro and mini thresholds. And that's a biggie because barely anybody, well, really nobody talks about it. I have not ever heard somebody talk about micro and mini thresholds the way I talk about them. It is so important to know that horses hold tension from traumatic weaning to pressure and control-based training, from not horse-friendly living quarters, from not being fed like a horse needs to be fed. All of that can cause the horse to hold tension. And that, by the way, is not just in the skeletal muscles, that is also in the smooth muscles around the organs. So if you have a horse currently that is suffering from digestive issues, from ulcers, skin issues, unexplained lameness issues, the residual tension can be the root cause for that. The treat-based training easily overrides thresholds. The wrinkles in the nose and mouth area, the tongue pushed against the roof of the mouth, the reduced blinking rate, the increased heart rate, the increased breathing rate, the tension in the pole area, the inability to let go of tension in the body. All of that will not be addressed if you keep being a Pez dispenser shoving cookies in your horse's mouth. People tend to push through their horse's thresholds either because they don't know or because they think they have to, along the lines of, otherwise my horse gets away with stuff. But all we're telling our horse when we're not listening, we're not acknowledging our horse's feelings and feedback, we're telling our horse, you and your feelings and your feedback don't matter. That causes the horse to shut down, to disconnect from you, to become argumentative, or to get scared and explosive. If you don't resolve the residual tension from the moment you approach, you literally building every next step on that foundation of tension. So super important that we find, honor, address, and resolve micro and mini thresholds. Here we have Harry and his human Angel. When Angel first joined my mentorship program, Harry had nearly killed her, running her over, bruising her kidney, causing, I believe it was 17 stitches in the back of her knee, trampling her, trying to get back to the herd because he did not feel safe with his human yet. Now Angel and Harry have done over 1,000 kilometers of walking and riding together with a halter, with a bareback pad or a saddle. And in extreme situations like going to the senior center and visiting the children's playground with all the screaming and yelling, going by the shopping center, going under the underpass of the interstate, and just being in a magnitude of different environments, leaving the herd behind and feeling confident with his human. That's what it is about when we release the horse's thresholds. Harry had previously kicked the farrier and broken the farrier's hand, had run people over, had run his owner over, had chased people out of the paddock, bucked people off, broken tie racks, and so on. And now, instead of being called horrible Harry, he's sweetheart Harry, because Angel took the time to apply these 5 LEADmare principles that I'm teaching to her relationship with Harry. LEADmare principle number 4. You incorporate the triple X relaxation strategy, and we will release brace, tension, stress, worry, and fear in your horse. It is important to know that only a relaxed horse can think and connect with you. If you feel currently that your horse is not connecting with you, your horse is most likely missing relaxation. Relaxation is a basis for feeling safe, secure, and confident for you as well as for your horse. We need to make sure that we look at relaxation in mind, body, and emotion. With all these proper biomechanics programs popping up, what I see a lot of time is that there is an overfocus on the physical part and the mental and emotional part still not being addressed. So the horse is actually finding physical manipulated relaxation while still being tense and tight in their mind and in their emotions, still having trauma that has not been released. And residual tension is the number one that is holding horses and humans back to connect with each other and to have a safe relationship. From my perspective, one of the amazing tools to help our horse find relaxation, mental, emotional, and physical, is the picking up feet. Such a simple task, but also powerful. We need to look at total acceptance versus conditional tolerance. And so many horses will not relent their feet on the ground, and people ride these horses when they never have really given up the control of their feet to the human happily and willingly. Scary experience, accident waiting to happen. This idea that our horse is willing and happily relenting control to us, ceasing resistance and softening to our requests without being a robo-horse, without being a marionette, without being forced and made and caused and pressured and manipulated into anything. Your horse choosing you as the lead because of who you are and how you show up, what you do and what you don't do. That's what Barbara did in Georgia with her horse Salt. Salt was a very sour trail riding horse. He had been in a dude string, and he was sold because he was not having appropriate manners being a dude string horse anymore. And Barbara says, the first ride since beginning the restart, no saddle, no bit, nor bridle, no hands, just intent, energy, and teamwork, walk, trot, canter transitions. Best ride ever. Thank you, Petra Christensen. So this idea that we can help our horse to go from a sour trail horse to a happy and relaxed partner when we're working on relaxation. Last but not least, LEADmare principle number 5. It is lightness through softness instead of pressure in escalating phases. And here I see that I have not updated my slide. So let me talk about lightness through softness. Lightness through softness is what you need to have is you need to have a clear understanding of your horse's 6 areas of comfort and confidence. If you previously have heard me about the 5 areas, I have added the 6th area. So number 1, your horse currently has a certain opinion of you, whether you like it or not. You have a certain opinion of your horse. Right now, you have a temporary hierarchy that is happening. And most likely, your horse will either see you passive or will see you as dominant, but not as the lead. The environment, any previous trauma and experiences, your horse's relationship to the herd, whether your horse is herd bound or not, and your horse's personality all play a role right now when it comes to where your horse is confident and feels comfortable or not. The more you become the lead, the more your horse's the environment, the more your horse's personality, the relationship to the herd, previous trauma and experiences will matter. And we want to overlay your comfort and confidence zone with your horses, and we want to start smack in the middle so that our horse can say yes to every request. Then we start to ask with lightness through softness. And that means that we never use more than 100 grams or 3 ounces in our request. And if we're gradually increasing the comfort and confidence zone for ourselves and our horse, that is totally possible. Robin was just saying the other day in our relationship restart group that she's been using a feel and the softness for lightness, and it has been a total game changer for her horse Jackson and herself. My dominant, stubborn boy, she said, just needs a little time to decide that he wants to go with me rather than reacting to pressure. Truly amazing. So Jackson is a very traumatized previous gaited show horse, and now he is learning to letting go of this brace and tension that he had accumulated. And because of how Robin is building his comfort and confidence zone, he can respond to lightness through softness, and he does not feel oppositional anymore. Now, if you are interested to study with me, if you would like for me to be your personal connection and confidence mentor for the next few weeks so that you can easily progress, that you have fun learning, that you are guided step by step with no overwhelm and, oh shit, I have no clue what to do, then hop on over to understandyourhorse.com. I have a limited enrollment for my VIP mentorship program and lots of extra goodies this time around because I'm celebrating 11 years of Genuine Connections HorseWomanship and 4 years of the Relationship Restart online mentoring program. Lots of goodies, extra 4 weeks, the old pricing, 12-week membership, there's a 12 months membership, there's all kinds of extra goodies included that will not come back, and it's the last time to enroll for the old pricing. And I have a payment plan that starts at $87 a month. Check it out at understandyourhorse.com. And whether you sign up for my program or not, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section and keep coming back here for more information about how you can help your horse to see you as the lead, letting go of pressure control and treat focused training techniques, and focusing on interconnection, LEADmare principles, and love, peace, and understanding. Bye-bye. Love you all.